Yeah, I got started in community engagement in a way simply to change my life at Stockton. Traditionally, I had been teaching classic classes in theory and anthropology, and that was fine, but I realized that the students wanted something more. Students wanted to make a difference. Students wanted to get out of the classroom. So at that point, I began to work on ways of getting them engaged in the community. And that's been a lot of fun. They've responded well, and that really is why I started. It was student-driven, quite frankly. Well, we started with gardens. We started with community gardens, and we started with, in fact, with developmentally disabled kids over at Atlantic City High School. We brought our students over there, and they bonded, and it was a profound change in me and in the students. And from there, we graduated to other gardens throughout the community, and eventually developed a course. One of our faculty members now teaches a course called Community Gardens. So there's a good example of how something just expands into an academic discipline, but also involves community engagement. So what we did in the schools, we worked on after-school programs in mentoring and teaching, but we also worked on an anti-bullying program and got our students into classrooms. The teachers at the schools were very, very amenable to this, and they brought our kids in. We worked on 3-day programs of anti-bullying. At the end, the 3rd and 4th graders made wonderful presentations about how they would modify their behavior if, in fact, they had been bullies or been bullied. So it was a very, very successful program, and we'd like to try to do that again. One of the projects that we've done with students is to work with homeless people in Atlantic City. Students did photographs at the Atlantic City Rescue Mission, which then were presented at the Noyes Museum. But even more than that, students also work with homeless. They helped in the kitchen. They helped with distribute clothing. And when Hurricane Sandy hit, students in fact worked in distributing food and clothing with the Atlantic City Rescue Mission and with other organizations around the community. So that again was very profound and moving for students. They were able to interact with populations that they never would have acted with before, and it changed their lives. And one of my students, in fact, was offered a job and took it with the Red Cross, working on Hurricane Sandy relief, and specifically with homeless. So there's another benefit of what might happen when students can kind of get out of the classroom, use their academic training to work with different kinds of populations in the community. Now Stockton is also working with the long-term recovery group of Atlantic County to ameliorate the effects of Hurricane Sandy. So our students are working on building, they're working on mold remission, they're working on just finding ways to help people who have been affected by Hurricane Sandy. It's been an important effort for them, and Stockton has made a commitment to work with Hurricane Sandy relief for the long term. And in fact, this October, Stockton will be hosting a memorial service as well as an informational conference to help help both the victims of Hurricane Sandy and to prepare people for future hurricanes or storms. So we're in it for the long run. I am the faculty advisor for a new club on campus called Stock Engage. The goal here is to get students, again, off campus to work on projects that will benefit the community. And we're very excited about that. Of course, we're going to work with many other campus clubs. It's intended to be a group that is not working alone, but does what Stockton always tries to do, is work with as many partners as possible. So this is going to be another great effort for our students. Yeah, I would advise any faculty member who's interested in doing community engagement to first think about their strengths and what they want to do, both in terms of research and teaching. It should always emanate from the classroom, and the Stockton Center for Community Engagement will find a way to implement your passions, your interests, your classroom work in the community. Rather than imposing anything on a faculty member, it always, just like what we do, we work from the bottom up, and faculty members should also think about what they enjoy doing, what they love doing, and we can work, and we can find a way in the community to make that work. It will change your life, it changed mine, and I encourage all faculty members to think about that.